Welcome, everyone, to the Bucks County Living Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Neff, your real estate resource in Bucks County. Today, I am joined by my good friend, Larry Allen from Allencruises and Tours. How are you today, Larry?
I'm fine, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for coming. I'm very excited to dive into your story and talk about your business here. So I'd like to really know, how did you get into the travel agency business?
Well, it's a real interesting story, Alex. First, I'd like to thank my maternal grandmother for planting the seeds of travel. I used to go to her every year. She went away on a major vacation, Israel, Egypt, somewhere, and I always asked her, I said, well, how do you do that? Well, I said, I thought you were supposed to wait until you retire. She said, excuse me, she said, son, retirement isn't guaranteed. You go now while you can. And that planted the seed for me of wanting to travel. And I just took the baton from her and kept right on running. At 17, after graduation from high school, I enlisted in the Air Force and was a world traveler before the age of 22. So yeah, she planted the seed of travel, and I've been traveling ever since.
That's incredible. So was she also a travel agent, or was she just
No.
took the world by the horns and just started going everywhere she could?
She took the world by the horns, Alex. I'll date her. Um, there used to be vacation clubs, and she used to at the banks, and she always contributed to a vacation club. And she was with a bunch of ladies that always did a major trip every year, and that excited me because she would come back with the stories of these different destinations, a lot of which I had never heard of. So no, she wasn't in the travel business, but she's one of the major reasons I got into the travel business.
She planted the seed, so to speak.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
That's awesome. So you get into the travel agency industry. What year did you incorporate as Allen Cruises and Tours?
Well, that was in the 20s, in the 2000, excuse me, in the 2000, in the 2000s, I should say. Um, I've had a love of travel. I've worked for travel related companies for the longest time. Ironically, I got started in travel. My background is in sociology and psychology, but I got started as a college student. There was a friend of mine who said, do you want to go on a ski trip? Now, not many people from inner city Philadelphia were going on ski trips at this time, and that seemed alien to me. But then he said the magic words, Alex. He said, it's a free trip. And I said, well, let me go check it out. I said, what does it involve? He says it involves checking people onto buses and escorting them to the destination. And in return, you'll get your meals, accommodations, and use of the ski equipment. So that excited me as a college person. As you know, free is for me. And that started me on that basis, and I parlayed that until a weekend manager's position. I became an outside salesperson for that firm. Then I became a full-time salesperson, and I ended up buying into that company. So that's my quick story as to how I got into travel. None of that was planned.
Wow. So you've been doing this for how long now?
Well, that was in the 70s, so let's say over 45 years I've been doing
Wow.
travel, full time on my own since the early 2000s. But I enjoy it. And, I love people and just have a love for meeting people and going to different destinations.
That's awesome. What would you say your favorite place to travel to is?
Well, I would say it's a toss up, but I love Singapore the best. Singapore is a mixture from cultures from all around the world, and I really love that destination more than anything. Though I have to say, just recently I came back from escorting a group of 30 people to Dubai, and that was fascinating. Being in the middle of the desert and watching and learning about that culture and those people. But I would have to say that Singapore is on the top of my list, followed closely by Italy. Because as you know, Alex, my name is Lorenzo Alini.
So Italy, Singapore, and Dubai, which you just came back from, which we talked about a few weeks ago, it it sounded absolutely beautiful and indescribable almost.
It was fantastic. I would love to return to Dubai, but it will not be in the summer.
Okay.
I learned that that's not too wise.
Yeah.
It's not too
Yeah.
wise. Very hot, but excellent, excellent destination.
That's incredible. So, I guess what, how is it that you have, built, you've been doing this for 45 years and you've built up the Larry Allen brand, the Allen Cruises and Travel. How is it that you really got to meet the people and attract customers to your business?
Okay, that's a great question, Alex. Actually, I started that back when escorting. I have an outgoing personality. I love to make people feel welcome and a part of, and I've parlayed that part of my personality into business. And what I do, I know travel from different aspects, from being an escort on a bus, a part-time manager, outside sales, full-time sales, co-owner. So I've worked my way up from the bottom, always with the idea of attending to the customer. And it's just been fantastic. Most of my business is through referral. People have experienced the trips and they like it. I need to say also that one thing I forgot to mention was I organize travel. So as a group organizer, I specialize in group business, but as an organizer, I know the trials and tribulations that people have that organize trips. And believe me, I really respect and appreciate what it is that they do. So I bring a variety of experiences with me to travel.
I think you mentioned two key things there that I can really relate to. The first is, so I'm getting married soon at a destination wedding in Jamaica, and I think one of the biggest mistakes that we made is not hiring a travel agent to organize everything for us, because not only are we dealing with our own, planning the ceremony, getting the decorations, and being that, planning the actual wedding itself. We also seem to be acting as other people's travel agents because they're asking us questions. Where should we fly out of? Where are we flying into? Can you talk to the resort for this or that? And I'm like, now every time that I talk to somebody else that is just getting engaged or are looking to start planning a wedding and they're thinking about a destination, I say the one mistake that I made is not hiring a travel agent to really organize everything for us.
Well, I appreciate you for saying that, and those are the things we do. I mean, you already have enough on your plate. You're getting married. You're excited. You want to focus on that, but you have to play travel agent, and that's no fun.
Exactly.
And that's why one of the things that Allen Cruises and Tours does is escort travel. And what we do, the group organizer, or in this case yourself, you've already done the work. You have everything set up. You don't want to spend your honeymoon tending to people's needs, because I guarantee you there'll be a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning. Alex, this is wrong, that is wrong. That's why you want to have a travel agent to act as that buffer. But it's interesting that you realize that. Don't worry, we'll take care of your anniversary trip for you.
Yeah, please, because I'm hoping I get it right the first time as far as the marriage goes. So I'm really hoping that this is my one and only wedding, and that the anniversary trip, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to Allen Cruises and Tours. So the other thing that I resonated with about kind of how you got into this and what you do at Allen Cruises and Tours is the referrals. The referrals are so key. They're so crucial and so important to a business, because if you've had a good experience with a product or service, to refer somebody is the best way that you can thank us, right?
Exactly.
I deal with that in real estate,
Yes, you
where
do.
the best way to thank me is through, hey, I bought a house, I sold a house with this guy. I think you should use him because he was professional, he was caring, he was attentive.
Yeah.
And I know you on a personal level, and I know I've never used you professionally, but I know that you are professional, you are caring, and you are attentive.
Thank you. And you hit right on it. As you know, that's the highest compliment you can get for someone to refer you, and that means more than all the marketing and everything else. When someone has a friend that they can put their hands on and touch, and that person has made that referral, that means everything.
It
That
really
means
does.
everything for sure.
It really does. So you grew up in the inner city,
Yes.
in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
What attracted you to land in Bucks County?
Well, actually, it's ironic. This is a funny story. I was making the commute. The business at one time was at 17th and Walnut, and we moved to another section of Philadelphia, Rochelle Avenue, and then we merged with a company. So two small companies merged to make a larger company, and that company was headquartered in Bensalem. So I would have to do the I-95 commute every day from West Philly to Bensalem, and I got tired of it. So what I did over 20 years ago is I purchased a home in Langhorne in Bucks County, um, and I bought it in January of 2001. And ironically, in August of 2001, I parted ways with my business partners. So I came to Bucks County to beat the commute and landed here and fell in love and have been here ever since. You know.
That's great. So when you left the company that you were at in '01, and you're a new homeowner in Langhorne, which is beautiful,
Thank
big, beautiful houses. And now it's like, I got to make it work.
Yes.
I got to make it work.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because people have been telling me for years, you need to go out on your own. You don't need to be in this partnership. You need to do your own. But I'm lazy. I said, I don't want to do that. I'll just have a piece of the pie. And circumstances kind of forced me because, as you remember, we're talking about 2001. I left this company in August of 2001, and we know what happened the next month.
Yep.
9/11 occurred, but I persevered, and I was kind of forced to do my own thing, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, exactly.
Since,
And I wouldn't say you're definitely not lazy. I'd say we get comfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
We get a little comfortable, and that was what had kept me in my 9 to 5 for so long. Was
Okay.
that I was comfortable, and pivoting into a full-time real estate career became very uncomfortable, and really forced me to, like, I have to make it work.
Right.
My mortgage didn't care that I changed careers. My
No.
car payment didn't care that I changed careers. I have to make it work.
That's it. And now you have extra incentive, Alex.
Yeah.
Because of your upcoming marriage. Yeah, and it's important. But that gave me the incentive I needed, a little kick in the pants, and I'm glad. I'm really glad because then I'm able to do things the way I think that they should be done. And as you and I both know, everyone doesn't have the same standards and morals, and they don't look at business the way that I think that they should.
Exactly. And that is something that I have learned since I've kind of taken the reins on my own business. And I work with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach, and they basically provide the tools and the processes that I need for success. But I am my own independent business owner.
Right.
And when I work with other agents and outside firms, I agree with you where some people did not get in this for the right
Exactly.
the right reasons, and some people are just that cattle shoot of like let's do a deal, let's do a
Right.
deal, and they lose touch of, like, these are people that we're working with that
Yeah.
have thoughts and emotions, and we have to make it. I mean, real estate and travel agency have real estate agent and travel agent. They have so many
Yes.
the paths cross so much because we're dealing with a business transaction that is very emotional.
Exactly.
So I think that is, it's really, there's layers
Sure.
to the whole thing, and to be able to bring that love and that
Right.
professionalism to every deal that we have and every person that we work with is so important for success.
Critically important. And I think you would agree that it's about relationship building.
Yeah,
It's not maximizing the amount of profit on every sale. I'm in this for the long haul. I tell people this for me is a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, do I enjoy making money? Yes, I'm working. You're a professional. I'm a professional. I want a profit from my skills and ability, but I don't need to squeeze every single cent out of an individual. I want to have a good relationship, so when that person thinks of you or thinks of real estate, they'll think of you. When they think of travel, they'll think of me. Building the relationship is critical for me because, as you know, all the marketing in the world can't surpass bad reviews or bad word on the street. It just can't.
exactly. Exactly. So, what would you say the mission statement is for Allen Cruises and Tours?
Well, what I would say is that our mission is to provide great service, a fantastic experience, to have people utilize my years of experience to give them the vacation of a lifetime, at a fair a price point. And that's so important. It's people that I want them to know that I'm going to give my all to their effort. They are the most important person that I'm dealing with at that particular time, and I want them to feel that way. And like you, I'm sure, I stand behind what it is that I do. I provide a service. They can go buy travel from anybody, but they won't get Larry Allen or Alex Neff everywhere.
Exactly, exactly. There are a ton of other people out there that do what we do as far as the business side goes, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, getting down to causes and conditions of the transaction, the monetary side and the emotional side, not everybody does what we do.
Right. I laugh, and sometimes I tell people I have enough confidence in my ability. I can sell Stevie Wonder a big screen plasma TV once, but that's not the name of the game. I
Yeah,
want repeat business, and the only way I have to earn that, just like I'm sure you earn that sale, and that's
absolutely.
what I do, and the referrals back that up.
Absolutely. Now, so you do tours and escort and connect people all around the globe.
Correct.
Do you do tours specifically in Bucks County?
Unfortunately, I do not. That's a specialty. That's what we call inbound travel. What I do, I look for Bucks County residents that are wanting to get away temporarily from Bucks County and have a fantastic vacation. But no, unfortunately, I don't do tours in Bucks County.
Okay, but you're able to connect people with some of those inbound specialists
Oh yes.
in Bucks
Oh yeah.
County.
There are a bunch of people that specialize in travel in Bucks County, and I can put them in touch with those folks.
That's awesome.
Right.
I didn't even know that. That was
Okay.
that was one of the random questions that I thought of. Is like, there's a lot of history
Oh
in
yeah.
Bucks County
Right.
because we're right next to Philadelphia, the
Right.
birthplace of the nation. So
Right.
why wouldn't there be something that's specific towards Bucks County? And that's awesome. I'm so glad that there are people that you can connect with
For sure.
anyone that's interested in coming here and wants to learn a little bit about the
Oh,
history
yeah.
and
And
how attractive.
there's quite a bit of history, as you said,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, we had on a gentleman, Hussam Jalad of Made in Morrisville, and he was from North Jersey and had come here
Okay.
to be close to his in-laws, but also it was really wonderful that something that attracted him to Morrisville specifically was the history between Robert Morris and
Okay.
William Penn,
Okay.
and really the birthplace of our nation. I learned so much during that episode. Robert Morris was like the financier of the Revolutionary War
Yes.
and wanted Morrisville to be the capital right across from Trenton,
Right.
which is the capital of New Jersey. And I learned a lot just from that one episode. And it's beautiful that you're able to connect people that really find that rich history fascinating in Bucks County. Awesome. So next, I like to move on to a segment called the Big Three. So
Okay.
these are the three questions that I ask absolutely everyone that comes onto the show to get to know them a little bit better and kind of localize it into Bucks County.
Okay.
So my first question is, what do you think makes Bucks County a great place to live?
That's a fantastic question, Alex. I think that I'm a native Philadelphian, born and raised in Philadelphia. What I enjoy the most about Bucks County is the landscape, the greenery, the space. I grew up in a row house in West Philadelphia, surrounded by others, right on top of each other. I love the fact that we have all this greenery, the trees and the parks, Court Creek Park and Tyler. It just fascinates me. All the farmland, I fell in love with Bucks County right away. I realized that there were birds and there were animals.
Yeah, not just pigeons and skunks.
Yeah, not just pigeons. I'm like, what is that? So that's the thing that attracts me the most, and that's what makes me want to remain here. I just like. There's something serene about me looking at God's work in terms of the landscape and the greenery. I can't put it in words, but I feel it. And that's what Bucks County does for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. What would you say your favorite restaurant is in Bucks County?
Well, you heard me say that Singapore was my favorite destination. I like Thai food.
Okay.
I love Thai food, and I would say it's a tie.
No pun intended.
Pun intended. Between the Thai Singer House and New Plum Tree Garden. I love the food there. It's simple, but it's very, very delicious, and I speak highly and recommend those places.
Would you say they're like the closest to authentic Thai and Singapore and that area cuisine?
Definitely, they're definitely authentic, without a doubt, and it's great presentation, fantastic tasting food, for sure.
Awesome. And my last question is, where can people find out more about you and Allen Cruises and Tours?
Well, they can do it a variety of ways. They can email me at allencruises@comcast.net. They're welcome to use this number, my cell, 215-205-2470. They're able to check out my Facebook page, facebook.com, Allen-Cruises-Tours. And there is a website, allencruises.com, that's being operated on right now that will be up shortly. So a variety of ways. That number again, I know you've taught me this, Alex. It's important to repeat that number, 215-205-2470. Email Allen, Allen, Cruises, Cruises, @comcast.net. And the Facebook page, facebook.com, Allen-Cruises-Tours.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out today, Larry Allen. I'm so glad that we got to talk about your business and how you're just a wonderful resource in the community for people to connect all around the world. Not just in Bucks County, you can bring people all over the globe, and that is awesome. So thank you so much, Larry.
Alex, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. And as always, I'm your host, Alex Neff, your real estate resource. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions about Bucks County living.